Welcome to the 2025 Inktober Labyrinth Tangle Journey. I've created a toolkit with the templates, step outs, and beginner resources. Grab it with the link below. And if you want all the details about how this journey works, watch our intro video inside the playlist. I'll leave the link in the description and in the comments.
Gather your tools together. I am using very few tools for this. I have some colored pencils that I am adding color with in a gold pen. What I'm doing is I'm creating a 4x6 file, and I'm gonna create a special video over the next week that will go through how I'm putting together my catalog of tiles. What I tend to do is I practice, and do I have Heartfully? So first I practice in my sketch pad and draw it out. And then I come and I create a 2-inch bijou tile. You can use the template that's in the beginner's guide. There's a 2-inch square there, and there's the 3.5-inch square, which are the two typical sizes that we use in Zentangle. And from there, I've had some practice. Then I go to the step out and I draw the step out. And I love drawing step outs for a few reasons. One is that I am able to go back to a pattern I like and easily access how to put that pattern together without searching on my phone or my computer, because Zentangle is a time to get into the Zen flow, and our phones are one of our biggest distractions from being able to focus and to be able to access the muse, the creative juices that we have inside ourselves. I'm using this method. I got inspiration from some of the CZTs that I study with, and combined and came up with a combination that's working for me, and I'm passing it on to you here in this 31-day Inktober Tangles 2022 challenge. So each one of the steps were designed to have one elemental line at a time. So we try to get as close to that as possible. And in Zentangle, it's said that if Zentangle is really designed for the non-artist as well as artists to learn how to do this method. And the way that it was designed by Maria Thomas and Rick Roberts was that it would be one line at a time and one elemental line at a time. We have 5 elements. We have the I, C, S, and O. Heartfully, it's done on a grid. So the first thing we're going to do is create a grid. And this it's really important at the end to make sure that the at least the way it's designed for these to come out is that the one heart kind of bumps up against each other. What I've done, if I've miscalculated, I have done a little bit of a behind, but it's really nice if they just bump right up against each other. But that's the challenge when you're drawing, when you're drawing the pattern. The circles are actually going to be in the middle of each of these blocks. And I do have a little eraser, which we don't use much in Zentangle. However, that would not be the way to start off this step out. So this is kind of like unplanned, somewhat unrehearsed. I mean, I've drawn the step outs before, but you know, you get on camera and you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it's not quite perfect, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to show you my process and how I kind of go ahead and fix some things that don't necessarily work and see it as an opportunity of what I'm going to do next. And I have in a few instances shown you that on camera when I've done a little bit of an oops, but in Zentangle, there are no mistakes. There are only opportunities. So I do not make these little circles pink because they're not really a line. They're really part of a string guide. And the next step is to come over to the next grid, and we're going to add a heart. So this little circle dot in the middle is where our hearts are going to connect. So this is all right. So we're going to start in this upper right corner. And what I do is I come here and I start a C shape. Bring it down a little bit. I'm going to turn it. Now I'm left-handed, so I may be turning it opposite if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, it may make, you know, more sense. I'm going to keep it on this side. And so if I start here and make my C and come here and make my C, I pretty well, but this time I made this a little big and it's going to be a little tight here. So I'll show you what I'll do when we get to it. But I'm also lucky that I'm not going to get to it in this step out. But I need to remember that I need to keep kind of halfway so I can fit another heart here. So maybe starting on that side. So that's step 2. We're going to make our boxes again. I'm going to turn it. Now I'm going to grab my pencil. I'm going to give that little circle in the center for a guide. And I'm going to draw my hearts with black ink because we did that last time. That circles over a little bit. a little bit too far. I'm going to adjust. I think that one is too. Okay. Now I'm looking for hopefully a calmer day today. Now here we're going to put our heart in the upper. Then this guy is a little bit shy down there, so I'm going to touch him there. All right. So we have 3 steps done. Yes. What the next step is, yes, we're going to add another petal. We're getting there. See this, once I think the trick for me learning was that circle in the center as a guide so that I was able to get them to meet in the middle. Putting in that circle. Now we have, okay. Figuring out where I'm starting here. Okay. Okay. C shape. And I like to complete the pattern. So like I'm doing the top right part, I'm going to do that all the way around because I don't have to think that much about it. And then I don't get confused. Now I'm going to turn. All right, so now what we're doing is adding the 3rd heart, and there are 4. But you see how it is a C. A C. And you can see when you have that little guide there, it really helps to keep you on track. At least it does for me. And we all come up with our ways of being able to get these patterns together. But there you go. So now we're going to do pattern 4, leaves. So if you have questions, you can certainly put them in the comments below. I do ask you to be respectful and not too critical, as just starting out. You can also send me an email on some of your suggestions. I've had a few of those off camera and they've been really helpful. I think, okay, I need to concentrate for a moment, folks. I want to do this correctly. This is getting a little squished. So I did a little behind here. That's how I course correct that. But I like to start with my C. And some of these lines, you know, when you add shading later, that can help. All right. So now we're going to add the fourth one. And I'm going to, after I add the fourth one, then we're going to go over to, I don't want the video to be too long. You can come, the spacing here is a little squishy, but it does work, you can see. And okay, so now we've done the step out. Typically what I would do for this fourth box, and I'm going to let you fill it in, is you replicate the pattern and then you give it, you can give it a little bit of shading in the corners, in the center here. Okay, so this is Heartfully.
If you enjoyed today's tangle, grab the Inktober Labyrinth Toolkit. It includes the template, step outs, supply list, and beginner-friendly resources to make this journey easy. And if you'd like accountability and support, join our Creators Art Lab community where we draw together every week during the month of October. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a daily tangle. Thanks for drawing with me today. I'll see you in the next video.